Human nature is pretty complicated, but it can be boiled down to four things. A four-step process. You start with the foundation of your entire understanding of the world and everything around you, being all of your experiences, all of your collected knowledge over the course of your life, the things that you have been taught by the people around you, the beliefs that you have sustained over time, all of these things put together, all of which forming the entire foundation of your perception and interpretation of the world and of people and of really anything else. That's all step one. That then goes on to step two, forming your thought process. The way you think about the world, the way you think about people, how you think about the beliefs you hold, how you think about anything, all comes from that first step being your experiences and your knowledge. And then your thought process goes on to form the third step of the human condition, being your emotions, your feelings, how you feel about the situation, how you feel about this person, how you feel about, this memory. And then based on that third step, you then go on to the fourth and final step, being your behavior. If you feel bad about something, you might do this other thing to then make yourself not feel bad about it. You've therefore changed your behavior, you've taken a different action, you've went out of your way to do something. You've responded to that emotion, and that emotion was created by your thought process, and your thoughts are formed by your collective total understanding of the entire world around you, based on all of your experiences and knowledge. That is the entire human condition, just human nature in general, summarized into four basic steps. Once you understand that, it can be really liberating, because you're breaking it down, you're being analytical, you're being practical, you're looking at it from a lens, trying to understand it, and really dive deep and figure out how you can go in a step-by-step process to then improve your life. A lot of people struggle with their emotional well-being, their emotional health. They feel a deep pit of despair in their heart. They feel a lot of anxiety about their place in the world because, based on their thoughts and their experiences, they then have the thought, oh, I'm not in a good place right now. I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, so to speak. I'm in a very bad situation where I'm not making money. I don't have a good place to live. I don't have this other thing. I have this problem or that problem, which then drives the emotion of, oh, I feel really, really bad about my place in the world and about myself as a person, so on and so forth. But if you break it down like this, you can then understand, if I want to improve my emotional well-being, my emotional state, my emotional health, then all I need to do is backtrack and try to improve my life at the foundational level. Seek out positive experiences and seek out the right sort of information that can help me figure things out and really take those correct steps. And then eventually, working your way through that four-step process and then looping right back around to the start and then going through the process and then looping back to the start and then going through the process. You do that 1,000,000 times. Eventually, your life will have improved in some way, maybe minor, maybe major, and your emotional well-being will have improved. It's very liberating because it is such a reliable, rigid process. It is unshakable. It is trustworthy. If you improve your life at that foundational level, you really finally make the effort. You really try your best, based on everything that you've come to know about the world, to go ahead and put your best step forward starting right now. Then you can go through that process, and you can continue to go through that process, and over a certain amount of time, you will notice how your emotional state improves. There is a famous quote. I forget who said it originally. I think it might be a proverb. The best time to improve yourself was yesterday. The worst time to improve yourself is tomorrow. And the second best time to improve yourself is right now. Right now. I'm probably butchering it, but it does make a lot of sense. The best time to improve yourself has already passed. You know, everybody could have taken steps to improve themselves, improve their life earlier on in life. You missed your shot to do it earlier than right here, right now. Just like I do. I'm not special. But the second best time to do it is right now. And then you combine that proverb with another one about how no matter what point you are at, turning away from a loss is a win. It doesn't matter if you have been gambling and ruining your life for an entire decade. It doesn't matter if you've been smoking cigarettes for the last 20 or 30 years. Even if you start today, that is still a win. Sure, it would have been better if you just didn't gamble in the first place. It would have been better if you didn't smoke at all in the first place. Yeah, sure. Of course. However, continuing to do those things is only going to continue to be a detriment to your life. It is only going to continue to be a negative impact. So, no matter when you turn away from those negative things and you start changing your life in this positive direction, that is a win. And you should embrace that, and you should feel proud of that win. No matter how long you've been doing this, no matter how long you've been in the wrong, changing your life for the better is a win. Just end of statement. Period. Full stop. And I genuinely believe that if you take a step back and you look at this if you look at human nature from that analytical perspective, you break it down into that 4-step process, then you can maybe get a little bit of help trying to figure out the right step to take in order to then improve your life, starting right here, right now. Maybe that helps. Maybe it won't help. I'm not a psychologist. I'm doing my best to give you advice. Goodbye.